What's up, everyone? Welcome to Ionian Gaming. This is your host, Roz. As always, like the video, share the video, subscribe to my channel. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon, all at Ionian Gaming. Alright, so, final disclaimer. Video might not be appropriate for children, so be a good parent. Don't let any children under 12-ish watch without parental guidance, because there will be all kinds of fun themes and other stuff that they probably shouldn't be hearing without parents, helping them understand what it is I'm saying. All right, so when we left off, this is the 12th, no, the 11th. It's like the 11th or the 12th, I don't know. I'm losing track of time. Video in this series on my Blood Elf Mage leveling. I hope you guys are enjoying the series. In other news this week, and this is why there hasn't been a whole lot of video output this week. I know it sounds like I'm making excuses, but I always have very good reasons why I'm not putting out videos. Sometimes it's because I'm lazy, but others, my schedule got switched around this week, so I was actually able to make my Burning Crusade guild's raids. And I wasn't going to raid with them, I'm not going to lie. But I got drug into Karazhan, and we cleared everything except Nightbane because we didn't have the urn and Nether Spite because we were having trouble with the shifting phase mechanic, but we did get a Prince kill. We didn't wipe on chests, which I'm going to kind of throw a disclaimer in here. We were Raid Group 2. Raid Group 1 wiped on chests. So yeah. However, it was not without its challenges. We had two rage tanks, my Feral Druid and Prot Warrior. We did not have a Paladin for the Salvation buff to reduce threat of our DPS. And there was a lot of times that it was one giant clusterfuck tanking that. I did not overly enjoy myself night 2. Night 1, I absolutely had a blast. The nostalgia kicked in. I want to do Kara every week. Night 2, we just didn't seem to have the synergy that we had on night 1. We had to rotate a couple players out too, and that could have had something to do with it. So, long story short, you may be wondering, well, why didn't you plan on raiding? Well, because of my work schedule and all my side projects and my kid and everything else, I don't have a ton of time to get all sweaty and farm out gear and, play the game at end game level that a lot of people want you to. Bring him in a spindle web. Alright, so anyway, to get the gear I need. So, long story short, we had some guild drama. One of the officers asked the off-tank on night 1 of Karazhan why he spec'd the way he did, etc., etc., etc. Long story short, he dropped they dropped the first boss in Karazhan, and then he guild quit. Left the raid and then guild quit. Which really demoralized the group, and he was also a paladin. I got recruited to step in as an off-tank with really, really shitty gear. And we cleared Morose after 2 attempts, Maiden on the first shot, Opera on the first shot, which was Romeo and Juliet, which I know that doesn't mean a whole lot, but it was very impressive. We did technically wipe on Curator, but that was because there was a shit pull during a trash pull, and we got him too. So it doesn't technically count as a wipe, even though if you look at the raid logs, it did. And then we burned down Illhoof. So it was overall, it was a good time. Night 2, Prince we did like 3 wipes. Nether Spite we did 3 wipes. Chess we did once, and Shade of Iran we did 1 shot. So overall, not terrible. A lot of the people in the raid though were, I don't want to say disgruntled, but they were kind of miserable. They had to watch Threat. The tanks, me and the main tank, we were miserable because we had to go chasing after mobs that would just have Threat absolutely ripped off of us. Um, Other things that did not help matters was I tanked regular Shattered Hulls immediately before the raid, so I was in tank mode for about 4 straight hours. I don't like doing it that long. Um, there's only so many times I can hit the button to cast Lacerate. I'm sorry. I know it's my main threat generator, but man, you hit that number 2 button so many fucking times. And then when you get 5 stacks, you hit the number 3 button for your mangle, and then rinse and repeat. Oh, and then I blow down all my taunt cooldowns frequently. My AoE taunt every 12 or 10 minutes because I'm constantly trying to get threat back off the DPS. And my regular taunt every 10 seconds because, again, chasing shit that's after the DPS or the healer. It is what it is. It's a miserable time right now for me tanking. I'm not gonna lie. I used to really fucking love it. Um, it's great. Sometimes it was one of my favorite things in all of WoW to do, and I'm kind of getting miserable doing it already. I think a lot of it has to do with the way threat is generated in Burning Crusade. I think a lot of it has to do with my gear. I am not geared to the point where I need to be, in my opinion. If you look at my defense rating, though, I'm at 421 or 22. And for a Feral Druid tank, I need to be 415 to be quote-unquote uncrittable. So, I mean, defense-wise, I'm there. I don't know. It's just I don't have certain best in slot. I don't have certain bisses, and it's just I don't know. It's just kind of I'm kind of doing it, but I kind of want to do something else. I'm kind of burned on it. I've been farming gold like non-stop for like 4 days too, so I could afford flasks. That was another fucking noob moment too. Last night, I did not realize I did not have a flask on until we were on Nether Spite. So, let's tack that onto the bullshit that was going on with me last night. Can't hold threat, can't do anything. Oh yeah, that's right, because you don't have your fucking flask on. You did freaking 3 bosses without a flask. Noticed it right on the final pull of Nether Spite. I'm like, well, it is what it is. So, that's been my week in general. I hope everyone else has been having a good time. I have not been so much, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very deeply paranoid about some shit too. I also have this really weird feeling that my guild is humoring me by telling me I'm doing a good job because it's hard to find tanks. And I don't feel I'm doing nearly as good a job as they say I am. And I'm always super hypercritical of myself anyway. But, flip side of that, Wrath of the Lich King. I became a boss tank after 2 heroics. That's not bragging, that's a fact. I went and I tried to tank on other stuff too. I can tank on a Death Knight. Same basic rotation as a Paladin. Um, I can tank on a I can tank on a warrior. And in Burning Crusade, I gave it a shot. I tanked on a druid. Um, After tanking on a paladin, which is the equivalent of putting the game in easy mode, it really is. Don't judge. I'm not judging paladins. I'm just saying that you guys AOE threat, uh, taunting, or all your AOEs make the game very fucking easy as a tank. But warriors aren't bad either, and feral druids in Wrath of the Lich King were. I did not have nearly the trouble that I'm having right now, as I was having. I was not having nearly the trouble in Wrath of the Lich King that I'm having right now with tanking and Burning Crusade. And I know I don't have a couple of my AoE abilities because I'm not 80. But man, I wish I had a couple of more, because all I have is Lacerate and Mangle for single target, and then it's a bunch of tab target lacerate for that, and then swipe. Which I know that's the rotation. I know that's what you're supposed to do. But when you got fucking big dicks pumping out, shit, last night we had a couple of people that were pumping out 1700 DPS. Well, it was closer to like 1200, but 12, 13, 14, 1500 DPS. It's challenging. It's very fucking challenging. And that's part of what's kind of appealing to the Burning Crusade Classic, is it is a lot more challenging than retail is. You got to be smarter. Boss fights, though, holy shit. Okay, so example time here, and this is, we burned down Morose in like 4 minutes. We burned down Maiden in 4 minutes. We burned down Curator right after the first evocation. We burned down Opera in under 4 minutes. We burned down Illhoof in 4 minutes. Like, raid fights, like, Curator used to be a fucking gear check, like a DPS check. Like, when I started raiding, it was about a year into the expansion. Excuse me. Excuse me again. It was about a year into the expansion. People had been playing for a year, presumably, on their characters, or, I mean, quite a while. I saw Curator freaking enrage. Not just once. I saw him enrage multiple times. Because the DPS wasn't high enough to deal with him. That's insane. I think his enrage timer still had like 7 minutes left on it. Or 6 or 7 minutes left on it. If this was Wrath of the Lich King, you would get an achievement for that. You would. Some of the bosses with enrage timers, you had to. Sorry, I'm tired. I was up until 12:30, and then I woke up again for a couple of hours, and then I just went back to sleep for a couple of hours, and I've been up for about 5 now. It's been a rough night. But the bosses with enrage timers, I mean, you had to fucking work for it to like beat the enrage timer. It was a gear check. It was a skill check. Now it was a face roll check. And to me, that shows the progression of the players, the intelligence of the players, knowing what we're doing. Um, and I'm finding out stuff that I didn't know 15 years ago, still to this day. Today, I learned that warlocks don't have to train every level of their demon spells. Back in the day, we had to. Sorry. Back in the day, we had to. I don't even remember what I was talking about. I started reading and I forgot what I was saying. I was train of thought. DPS check, gear check. Oh yeah, back in the day we had to train all our demon spells and talents and all that. And I wish that I had known 15 years ago that I only needed to learn the max rank of the spells and the abilities. That I was literally setting my gold on fire. That sucked. Kind of pissy about that. Other things too I want to talk about before we really get into this video. I know I'm like 20 minutes into this video and I haven't really talked about what I'm doing, but I'm not gonna lie. Leveling a character, you're gonna see me go off on tangents quite frequently while I'm playing because I've done this. I've done this game so many fucking times that it's just kind of there for me. It's kind of something to do while I'm bored. Kind of a background noise, filler noise type situation. Just realized I don't have my glasses on. I was like, huh, wonder why the screen's all fuzzy. But yeah, as I go through these videos, which will rapidly approach, see, our video 24. You're looking at about 400 hours worth of playtime here, to get to 70. You'll see me go off on more and more tangents, while I'm talking about the state of the world. Not so much the real world, but the state of Warcraft. Other big news is patch 9.1 has been announced for retail, and I was kind of excited because I do want to continue the story. I'm a lore junkie. I love the story of World of Warcraft. I love the story of certain characters in World of Warcraft, and things are finally going to come to a head with Sylvanas Windrunner, who is a Banshee Queen / possible war criminal and Scourge of the planet Azeroth. But at the same time, she's fucking hot, and that counts for something. Anyway, the Sanctum of Domination or whatever releases. We're gonna get, I assume, a redemption story arc with her. I also assume. What the hell is that? Is that? Oh, that's Escape from the Catacombs. Why am I even up here? Well, this is the Sanctum down here. Shadowpan Hexers. I gotta go kill more of those fuckers over here. Continuing the storyline of Sylvanas Windrunner, war criminal / former war chief of the Horde / really hot blonde dead chick. And we're probably going to see where the story of the Night Warrior, Tyrande Whisperwind, who is another badass character. Like, people talk about how there's no positive female role models, or positive female role models are hard to come by. And the country and society as a whole has done a lot better job representing women in a lead character, lead role. Some of it's very fucking cheesy, and I'm looking at you, Disney, in Endgame with the girl power scene. But World of Warcraft's been doing it for years. And some of the stories of certain characters in this game, like Sylvanas Windrunner, Ranger General of the High Elves, aka the Blood Elves. She led the defense of Silvermoon City and the Sunwell against Arthas. And Arthas, she gave Arthas such a fit, aka the Lich King, with her defense, that he wouldn't give her a swift death. He raised her as a banshee, enslaved to him. Well, eventually she broke free of the enslavement. Along did other undead that were raised by Arthas, and they formed the Forsaken. It's going to be interesting how they're going to play this off. We're also going to have more of the storyline of Anduin, who is now basically a Lich King surrogate, for lack of a better term. The jailer made him his puppet, but Anduin's able to resist a little bit. But Tyrande, who became the Night Warrior after Sylvanas burned down the World Tree. World of Warcraft has very compelling stories. And real shit people in charge of making their games. Basically, all that soul ash we ground out and Torghast, yeah, we're gonna have to do it again. We have to recraft all our legendaries, because somebody somewhere thought it was a good idea. Let's see what this flame strike does. This is not going to go well. That guy pulled him. Cool. Got him. Got a drink now. I was worried that he was going to pull that other cat lord over there. Some really good stories. But yeah, now we have to recraft all our legendaries that we spent all that time in Torghast recrafting to begin with. And it's literally like all of them have to be recrafted. And I was watching Asmongold, mainly because he might be on the server that I play on. He's a filthy Alliance scumbag, and it's not the Alliance as a race I hate, it's Alliance as the players I hate. But yeah, Anduin's story is going to be potentially wrapped up too, which is, I feel, kind of bittersweet about. Anduin's been in this game since launch. He's been the boy king of... He's been the boy king of Stormwind. He... let me get out of here. I don't think I'm going to have to pop a healing potion yet. I can just do that. And then I might be safe. Jesus! This guy gonna chase me forever? Okay. But Anduin is such a good story too. Going from a child, the whole way under the influence of Lady Katrina Prestor, aka Nixia. to the priest in training during Cataclysm, the teenage um, boy, to becoming friends with Rathian, the last of the Black Dragonflight, uh, to the death of his father in Legion, and him becoming King of Stormwind and de facto leader of the Alliance. Which is kind of cool. I also think it's kind of xenophobic too, of the Alliance, because King Lane was um, Lane Rin was leader of the Alliance, but then it was just humans. There weren't really any elves or anything in the Alliance. And then Varian became de facto leader of the Alliance too, because he was the human king of Stormwind, and fuck the dwarves and fuck the night elves and fuck the Draenei, fuck the gnomes, literally fuck the gnomes. Everyone hates gnomes. But anyway, and then when Varian died, Anduin became leader of the Alliance. So it's always been a human leader of the Alliance. Now, on the Horde side, we've had 3 war chiefs, and now we have a council. And we've had 4 war chiefs. I forgot about the dark days under Garrosh. But the first 2 war chiefs were orcs. We had Thrall, who is basically Green Jesus. He is the savior of the orcs. And there's a lot of parallels between him and his story and biblical references too. Like even in the movie, they to save Thrall from Gul'dan, Draka put him in a basket and sent him down a river, where he was discovered by people and then enslaved, and then he escaped. But you see what I'm saying? There's religious imagery with Thrall. And then Thrall, during the Cataclysm, he decided that he was going to step down as War Chief and help battle Deathwing, but he couldn't do so as War Chief. He had to return to his shamanistic ways. So he put Garrosh in charge. Garrosh was a fucking idiot. No one liked him. He was power hungry. He was brutal. He killed Cairn Bloodhoof. And as far as Horde races go, the Tauren are my favorite, storyline wise. They literally just want to be fucking left in peace. And between the humans and the centaurs and everything else, they cannot be left in peace. And long story short, Cairn saved either Thrall or Thrall saved Cairn, one of the two, I don't remember, from a centaur attack. And the other one, they have been best friends ever since. Well, Thrall puts Garrosh in charge. Cairn disagrees with the way Garrosh is. God, I can't remember. It's Mogosh Ro. No, it's, like I want to say it's Rochambeau, but I know that's not what it is. It's trial by. It's basically a fight to the death to prove who's right. Might decides right, basically. And Garrosh cheated. He had a poison dagger. He killed Cairn. But it was not Garrosh that poisoned the dagger, but it was a controversial win. After Garrosh died, or after Cairn died, Bane, Bloodhoof, the Tauren was put in charge. He was a follower of the light, and that's how Taurens got to become paladins. There's some lore for you there. After Garrosh died, they put Vol'jin in. Vol'jin was fucking cool. I liked Vol'jin a lot. Vol'jin had a huge storyline in Mists of Pandaria as opposing Garrosh and Garrosh's ways. Garrosh got corrupted by the blood of an old god too. They Hand of Mists, we defeated Garrosh. Thrall or Vol'jin's like, we need our true war chief back, and Thrall's like, yeah, we do. And it's like, you were the one that held the Horde together while Garrosh was tearing it apart. You're the one that fought for the Horde. Blah, 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 blah. So Vol'jin's now in charge. Vol'jin was in charge for, much like Garrosh, was only in charge for about 2 expansions. Maybe even an expansion, well, maybe only one really when you think about it, because he came in charge at the end of Mists of Pandaria. He was their full leader during Warlords, and then he died at the very beginning of Legion. And then Sylvanas Windrunner was made War Chief of the Horde. And after Sylvanas, oh my god, Sylvanas did some bad shit. I'm not going to oversimplify that. She nuked an alliance capital of the World Tree. Flip side of that, really, is it her fault that the Night Elves decide to live in a place that is completely flammable? I'm taken back to the story of the 3 little pigs. The pig who built his house of straw, the pig who built his house of sticks, and the pig who built his house out of stone. You don't really feel too much sympathy for the first 2 little pigs because they built their house out of stupid material. These elves decided to live in a fucking tree, and then were shocked when their enemy decided to burn it to the ground. But Sylvanas also did something else too that was kind of shady. She burned down her own capital city. She nuked her capital city of the Undercity. The Alliance had her cornered. She went fucking Waco on it. She had an escape plan in place, and she nuked the place. So that kind of puts you up to speed as far as lore goes. And yes, people have accused me of being a red shirt guy recently too, because I had questions how Khadgar's really, really old in Burning Crusade, and then he's like middle-aged in Warlords. And I guess I missed that part of it, where it was part of the time, because Warlords of Draenor takes place in an alternate past, so Khadgar could be alternately younger, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's about all that's going on with the World of Warcraft and the lore. So I'm probably going to wrap this video up here pretty quick after I finish this little quest here. And I will catch you guys next time. Thanks again for watching, guys. I appreciate the videos. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate anyone that does subscribe to my channel. Please find me on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Patreon, all at Eonian Gaming. This is Roz signing off. Until next time, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I'll catch you later. Bye.